AITA for selling the house my brother and his family live in. Short and simple, I think. A few years ago my brother needed help. I let him move into one of my rental properties and we did it all legal. Lease. Agreement and everything. Because I was renting to him at a break-even point, we agreed that he was responsible for all the maintenance of the house and yard. Well, he has 4 kids, and the hot water tank isn't enough for his family and he wants a new one. I told him to go ahead. He then proceeded to take the cost of the hot water tank and installation of that month's rent. I reminded him of our agreement. He said he wasn't making improvements to my property for free. I said that the old hot water tank was fine and he made the decision to replace it. Big argument and I didn't want to fight, so I said that he was not allowed to make any further changes to the house without my explicit agreement. So he stopped doing maintenance as a protest. The house itself is not pretty, but it is solid. It is old and the wiring in it was not meant for all the modern electronics we have. He wanted to add a new breaker box and run more outlets. I said no thanks. I cannot afford that since I'm not making any money on the house. He started getting bitchy about it and the rent started getting paid late. I tried talking to him but he said that he had to buy some stuff for the house and he was low on cash. So I sold the house. While the house itself isn't great, it is in an older part of the city and the property itself is 1/4 of an acre. Every time a house sells in the neighborhood, it is snapped up by developers and tuned into multi-family units. Or one guy built a McMansion on his land. I know a lot of the developers and I didn't even need to list the house to have it sold in less than a week. My brother found out when he was served with an eviction notice. He called me to ask WTF. So I told him that the house was causing me headaches and I had an opportunity to make some money and I took it. He said I should have offered him a chance to buy it. I said that he was having trouble making rent. How was he going to qualify for a mortgage? He said I'm an asshole and that he has the money, he was waiting to make me an offer. I asked him if he had money, why he was late on his rent. He started bad-mouthing me to all our family. A few of them took his side and tried to say I was being an asshole, so I offered all of them a chance to clear his debt to me if they wanted to share their opinion. None of them took me up on the offer. My parents are on my side and they said I shouldn't have rented to him in the first place. I feel bad for my sister-in-law and the kids, but I'm not going to spend the rest of my life subsidizing his. Welcome to our Am I the Asshole? Please view our voting guide here. https://www.reddit.com/r/amithasshole/wiki/fact#wiki_what.2019s_with_with_they_main.3f comma, and remember to use only one asterisk judgment in your comment. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. And GT. I sold the house I was renting to my brother and his family because he started playing games with the rent. I might be the asshole for not warning him that he was pushing the limits of my patience and that I had no problem selling his home. Help keep the sub engaging. Don't downvote assholes. Do upvote interesting posts. Click here for our rules. https://www.reddit.com/r/amItheAsshole/about/rules and click here for our FAQ. https://www.reddit.com/r/amItheAsshole/wiki/fact. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit. https://www.reddit.com/message/compose/question mark 2 =r/amItheAsshole if you have any questions or concerns. Contest mode is 1.5 hours long on this post. NTA. Why should you lose money to help him out? It was good of you, Tom. Rent to him at a discount and he crapped on you for your hospitality. You can feel bad for your sister-in-law and nibblings, but they are not your responsibility. I wish he hadn't tried to play silly buggers. His kids love the yard. Your brother learned a valuable lesson, I think. It's a shame his wife and kids had to learn it too. But that's what happens when you think you can push people as far as you want and face no consequences for it. His brother didn't learn anything. He's still pissing and moaning to other people like he was the wronged party. And now his wife and kids are potentially homeless. Talk about family drama. Well, apparently the guy has money to buy a house, so it's not really a risk of them being homeless. No doubt he can't afford anywhere near as good a property though, as I bet he expected a discount. Well, all those family members calling the op an asshole are free to invite the brother and his family to come live with them. And GT. And now his wife and kids are potentially homeless. I said that he was having trouble making rent. How was he going to qualify for a mortgage? He said I'm an asshole and that he has the money *. He was waiting to make me an offer. This is complicated. You were very generous with your brother who kept taking from you. The only way the water tank thing makes sense is if he believed that you weren't doing him a favor, that every landlord rents at break-even rates to family and family still gets the full tenant benefits package. Things escalated, and you wanted out of the deal, and the house. That made sense. When you made the decision to sell, you should have let him know, both to allow him to purchase it, maybe he could have swung the loan, and to give him the largest window possible for moving. Unless you feel there was a risk he'd damage the property to sabotage the sale, that's something you should have done. Now, are you an off for not doing it? Your inference that he didn't have the ability to buy the house is presumptuous, but pretty reasonable. I'll give you a pass on that. I'd have assumed the same. So now it's down to, were you in awe did not giving him more warning? I can give you a pass before the sale. But after the sale, he should have found out from you. You're an awe for letting him find out via the new owner's eviction notice. I want to be clear, you were very generous, and at all previous times weren't an awe. But that one choice changed the rating to *, meaning your brother is obviously an awe, but you're a little bit of one too for not telling him you sold the house he's living in. And GT. Unless you feel there was a risk he'd damage the property to sabotage the sale based on the literally everything about this post, I'd say there was a higher than likely risk of this lol. But I do agree with you. If the brother was willing to play games with rent, how do you know he wouldn't pull a squatter's rights kind of move? Op had the instincts where they should probably complete the transaction before it could be interfered with. The fallout of doing this unilaterally is better than the potential of being the better person and informing them, giving them potential to fuck with the process. The whole better person thing is just ripe for bad actors to take advantage of you, family or not. Or because he's family, he would expect a super absurd low price for the house anyway. Agreed. By offering it to his brother he would be subject to familial pressure. Op opted out of further stress and I support that. Never rent or work for friends and family. I think it's really fucked up Americans have this idea of you just have to tolerate financial abuse or you're obligated to family member because blood relation. Doesn't matter how crappy they are to you. I am personally glad I am not close with any of my family aside from my parents. I don't like family on both sides for valid reasons. I am very fast and cold with my social scissors. You of course have the legal right to do what you did. Turning your brother's family out on the street with no advance notice is one of those things that makes you ta even if you are legally in the right. He should have stuck with the agreement or renegotiated a standard agreement with standard improvements and higher rent. And GT. I tried talking to him but he said that he had to buy some stuff for the house and he was low on cash. I'm confused. He did try talking to him first. When you rent and pay late, you usually get talked to and then get evicted. Isn't that the same thing that happened here? There is a difference between, why is the rent late, and, I will be selling the property to someone who will be evicting you to tear the house down. Late rent across multiple months is almost always going to end in eviction. Especially when the landlord is cutting you a break and literally breaking even on the property. Each month. I agree with that. I'm just saying that, I tried talking to him. Doesn't necessarily mean that he said, I'm planning on selling. And I really think the late rent was brother was trying to manipulate Op into wanting to sell, but thought Op would sell the house to him. I'm also fairly certain the brother was convinced that the Op would never evict him because of the family relationship. Why would the Op think to sell to someone that claims they can't make rent? Removed. YTA for not giving him a heads up. Yeah, he's in a hole too for trying to stiff you on rent, but holy shit, why would you not tell your brother they're about to be homeless? And GT. Holy shit, why would you not tell your brother they're about to be homeless? Yeah, pretty much where my vote comes from. I have a baseline level of dislike for landlords.